I'm the Mademoiselle in Sassy Deuxième Chanel and Jodia. As you guys can see by the title, we're going to be talking about P. Diddy, his karma, especially dealing with the Erzulis Dantor tattoo on his back. Now, before we even get into that, I would love to hear your comments down below. What do you guys think is going on with Diddy right now? Because I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I literally ignored this when I first saw it. I was like, ain't no way Diddy got the nerve, got the audacity to be treating women and children the way he does with Erzulis Dantor on his back, because it just n'est pas possible, okay? Like, it's just, it cannot be possible. So, of course, before we even get into that, please make sure you guys, if you are interested, you go and you invest in my channel. You can now invest in all three of my YouTube channels. It is not a game. It is not a scam. You can now invest right now in all three of my YouTube channels and get a piece of my monthly ad revenue. This is a one-time purchase. You hold on to your channel revenue token, and as my channels grow, your token grows with it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I will never be doing this again, and once the opportunity is over, it is over. Thank you guys so much for always supporting me. Shout outs to those of you guys who have already invested, and if you guys decide to invest today, thank you so much for investing today. Now, of course, roll that intro.
You know him as Diddy, formerly Puff Daddy, big-time rapper, big-time producer, big-time superstar, and now the feds at his houses in both locations.
I don't think people understand what it's like to be traumatized by somebody famous.
Cassie Ventura's earth-shattering November 2023 lawsuit against Combs is chilling for a number of reasons. Ventura's attorneys claimed that Combs, quote, often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on Ms. Ventura.
Combs is allegedly a person who uses violence and drugs and sexual abuse to harm his victims.
Multiple lawsuits associate Combs with creating and distributing explicit material for revenge.
A Syracuse University college student says that Sean Diddy Combs took her out to dinner, that she was drugged, and that she was drugged for the purpose of a sexual assault, and that she was so drugged that she could not fight back.
End of April 2024, Joy Dickerson-Neal claims that Combs, as per his alleged modus operandi, not only drugged and sexually assaulted her, but filmed the encounter without her knowledge. Combs and his other son Christian were sued by Grace O'Marcake, who accused them of covering up a sexual assault committed against her by Christian. Lawsuit also claims that Combs's employees often witnessed his crimes, but said nothing for fear of retribution.
Diddy about to call up with, like, Diddy really on some bullshit for real. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw that tattoo Diddy had and all you guys kept sending it to me, I was just like, ain't no fucking way Diddy got the nerve, gall, audacity to literally do all the shit that he's done and have a tattoo of Erzulis Dantor on his back, okay? So if you guys are not aware, a few years ago, Diddy posted on Instagram this tattoo of Erzulis Dantor on his back. And the caption said something along the lines of, "She has my back, I have my front." And of course, a lot of people who did not know about Haitian voodoo or anything about spirituality chopped this up to just, you know, a regular Mary photo, sort of mother and child photo. But those of us who know that this is Erzulis Dantor. Now, I've made an Erzulis Dantor and Freda video as well as a Gran Erzuli video. Please make sure you guys check that out if you guys are not familiar with any Erzuli entity. However, if you guys are not familiar, it's going to be hard to follow this video. But just a quick little preface on what Erzuli is. Erzuli is a Haitian voodoo loi or deity, but one of the most powerful and most popular. She is known as a mother loi, and a lot of people do serve her. But most importantly, there are many different facets of of Erzuli. It is believed that the tattoo on Diddy's back is Erzuli Dantor, which is known to be one of the most volatile depictions of Erzuli. Now, Erzuli Dantor is actually technically my mother-in-law, which is actually very hilarious. Now, fun fact, all the Erzulis actually run in my family. So it's very interesting that this man has this on his back, because Erzuli Dantor is actually the pictorial depiction of Erzuli, and the pictorial law are the law that are more than likely derived from Haiti themselves. Now, there are different depictions of voodoo law. Now, I'm surprised I haven't made a dedicated video of the different families of law, because honestly, there's just so many, and there's different, a lot of them are very subjective, but there's very, very like specific definitions of them. But like I said, the pictorial are the ones that derive from Haiti. The Rada are usually very, very chill. They're very, very sweet. That is the Erzuli Freda. And then you have Gran Erzuli, which is like the mother of the Erzulis. Like they're very, very different. So when it comes to the families, we have a lot of different ones, but some of them that a lot of you guys have heard of that I've mentioned on this channel are, of course, the pictorial, the Rada, the Giddy, the cousins, the barons, and there's so many different ones that just keep on going and going and going, because there's so many different law that just like, they just, honestly, I think there's a different law born like every couple of days. So when it comes to the pictorial law, they are volatile. Okay, they are very, very hot. They are vicious. When they're happy, but when they're mad, and they just do not stop. Very, very vicious law. They're very, very specific law, and they do not necessarily, they're not fucking around. Okay, like when you serve those law, when those law pick you or you work with those law, literally, they are specific in what it is that they ask of you. There are also specific boundaries you just do not cross. And there are specific things that all these law are about, and specific things that these law just do not like, that you just should not do. So when it comes to Erzuli, she is known to defend women and children hardcore. That's what she's about. When it comes to injustice against women and children, abuse victims, and the LGBTQIA, those are her core values. Now, the LGBTQIA thing is very subjective. A lot of people feel like, oh, well, no, that's something the white people made up. I personally know that to be true, so much so that even recently I've actually been told that if you are one of her servants and you serve her incorrectly, it's been known that some of her servants have been known to act out in homosexual ways. So she's not fucking around with you. Now, going back to the LGBTQIA situation, even though there are some people that feel like that's something that the white people made up, I personally do not agree. You guys can feel free to tap down below. It is very interesting because a lot of people have also accused Diddy of dibbling and dabbling in the male anatomy with a lot of different celebrities. A lot of men who are serving her impurely, who are actually doing things they shouldn't be doing, have been known to do a lot of gay things, have been known to like literally do a lot of things that were, you know, inappropriate with men. And, you know, that's like been their punishment in a way. But since the spirit of Erzuli is a extremely feminine spirit, for a lot of her devotees, it is known that she sleeps with a lot of her devotees, which most of the time happen to be men. And it is known that a lot of men, especially in the Haitian religion, are very, very homophobic. So for them to be sleeping with men, it's like, oh my God, like I slept with a man. So a lot of times, a lot of these men, I don't want to say they don't know they're doing it, but it's like, oh, look at you. Like you're so manly. Oh, like you don't sleep with men. Well, there you go. So that's the best way to explain that. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. So it's funny because like when my friend first told me that, I said, ain't no fucking way, because I ain't never heard of that. And I actually looked into it, And apparently, yeah, it's pretty damn common. So it's not uncommon for certain Erzuli devotees to be out here sleeping with men. So for those of you guys who have men out there that have men that serve Erzuli, be very, very careful. Make sure that they're actually doing everything correctly, because they might just be in bed with men. And it just might be their punishment, or whatever the case may be. All right, so let's clarify, just so no one takes my words out of context. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being part of the LGBTQIA. However, a lot of people feel like it is 100% wrong, especially in the Caribbean community, especially in the Haitian community. So the whole idea with this is, a lot of people do frown upon being gay or being lesbian or anything of the sort. A lot of spirits, okay, especially Erzuli Dantor in this case, will punish you by making you act out by having same-sex relations, because of course it's not wrong to us, because, well, a lot of us watching this, because it's like, it's not that serious, okay, like you're gay, you're lesbian, whatever. But for a lot of people, it's like their worst nightmare, you know, having to mess with somebody that's the same sex. Like, for us, it's not that serious. For them, it's like, oh my God, no, like, what did I do? Right? So that's what I mean by that, just for some clarification. It is 2024, but sadly, you can still be killed in a lot of these countries for being with the same sex. So if someone were to find out that you were engaging in any same-sex situation, like, it would literally be the death of you. So serves as good punishment for a lot of these spirits. Now, I know there's going to be some people like, oh, well, how about if these people were just secretly gay and now they're acting out on their fantasies? Nah, a lot of these people, listen, what I'm telling y'all, I did the research. I specifically went to people who serve Erzuli and asked people who were very close to people who actually serve Erzuli. Trust me, these people aren't gay. It has a lot to do with, let me not give too much away. Let's just say that a lot of it has to do with them just not doing what they're supposed to do properly. And that's how this manifests itself. It's not them just acting out on their desires or fantasies, le job mote, or when the spirit comes through them. Okay. I know there's going to be some people that say that. That's not what it is. You are not to do things or go against boundaries that are set forth when you are messing with these spirits. There's too many people that come into different bouts of spirituality because they think that it is a free-for-all. They think that they could come into different belief systems and come into different bouts of spiritualism, especially Haitian voodoo and different African spiritual beliefs, and just do whatever it is that they want. That is not how it goes. They think that they come into voodoo, they come into Santeria, they come into Obia, they come into all these things thinking, oh, well, it's a free-for-all. Oh, well, you know, since I don't have to go to church every Sunday. Oh, well, since I have all of these spirits, since I have the Orisha, since I have whatever, that means that I could ask for whatever and I'm not bound to any rules. That's not how this works. And that's why you consistently hear people dying because they did voodoo. But that's not why. They're dying because they're not following the rules. They're dying because they're trying to hex people. They're dying because they're trying to curse people. They're dying because they're doing things incorrectly and they think that there's no rules to this shit. They're dying because they're sitting here and they're doing things that they know they damn well should not be doing. In the case of Diddy more than likely bit off way more than he could chew. And he more than likely went against the rules of his loi, which is more than likely Erzuli Dantor, because he got a whole damn back piece of her. Now, when it comes to Erzuli Dantor, like I said, she does not play about women and children. If you are going to harm a woman or a child, especially repeatedly, in the case of Diddy, which he has, she is going to come after you tenfold. These are individualistic practices. Just because one person can do something doesn't mean that you can do it. Just because one person is given leeway doesn't mean that you are given that same leeway. Whatever spirits you serve, you have to serve those spirits according to whatever rules and boundaries that they have set forth. Okay, like for example, Obatala, right? So Obatala is one of those spirits that is very cool, calm, collected. So his servants are very cool, calm, collected. There's certain ways that that you cannot handle yourself as an Obatala servant. Like, you should not be out drinking and wilding and smoking and doing the most. But that doesn't mean all of his servants are going to be that way. He might not care if you do certain things, but at the same time, most of his servants are going to be a certain way and carry themselves a certain way. When it comes to Erzuli, most of her servants are going to be a certain way. Most of them are not going to be shitty ass people who are abusing women and children, and the ones that you see who are harming women and children are more than likely not going to be having a good time in life. So you guys are probably thinking, okay, so why is Diddy not dead then? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys are not thinking that the worst thing to ever happen in life is death. The worst thing that could ever happen to you is definitely not death, okay? For a lot of people, death is the easy way out. For a lot of people, dying is literally not the worst thing that could ever happen to them. For a lot of people, embarrassment is worse. For a lot of people, their secrets coming out is worse. For a lot of people, losing all the money they have in the world, going to jail, having their child taken away from them, having shame put on their name is worse than death. And what you're seeing right now happening to Diddy is honestly worse than death. The man's net worth is falling. Collaborations are being taken from him. His money is falling as we speak, and it's only going to go down from here. This is just the beginning of it. Consistently, we are going to see so many things come out to the forefront of what Diddy has done. And it's crazy because he's been getting away with so many things, from murder allegations to forcing women to get abortions and beating women senseless. There is literally so many things that Diddy has done that I'm sure has not come to the forefront yet. And I guarantee you the things that we're going to hear about Diddy are probably going to have our jaws to the floor. Everybody was so shocked about surviving R. Kelly. I'm sure surviving P. Diddy in real time is going to be 10 times more entertaining, because P. Diddy has literally been able to skate with the help, whatever spirits he's been serving. And I know for a lot of people watching this, you guys are probably thinking, oh wow, I should definitely get into some sort of spiritualism because these spirits are going to help me do so many things. And I'm going to be able to do this, that, and the third and not be able to be detected. It's all fun and games until you fuck with the wrong person. And it's all fun and games until you start getting cocky. And it's definitely all fun and games until you get caught up fucking with the wrong person at the wrong time. And most importantly, till you sit here and do something that you know you're not supposed to be doing. Karma's always a bitch, and karma don't care about spirits. At the end of the day, you shouldn't be out here doing bad things to people when you're messing with any type of spirituality. Magic, spiritualism, and all of that is here to balance the earth. It's not here to boost your ego. And the problem with humans is that a lot of people will sit here and get into these practices just to boost their ego. They sit here on a power trip and dibbling and dabbling in so many of these different spiritual practices because they have little dick syndrome. They want to be part of something that makes them feel bigger than what they are, and they just simply get carried away. Diddy has literally been accused of some heinous things that sadly more than likely are true, and we're going to start seeing it. I feel so bad for all his victims, especially Cassie. It's absolutely disturbing how many people are making jokes about everything that she's had to go through, and it's crazy how many other people have probably had to succumb to a lot of his violence and recklessness. And it's gonna be very interesting to see what's to come for the rest of this year for him, because I guarantee you everything that he's going through right now is more than likely because of Erzuli, because Erzuli does not play that. You're sitting here with a tattoo of the protector of women and children on your back. Meanwhile, you are hurting women and children and those alike. That doesn't make any logical sense. But with that being said, it's just be very, very careful, guys, because at the end of the day, don't be out here dibbling and dabbling in things that you don't give a fuck about because you want power and just because you want to one-up people. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to bite you in the ass. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. And most importantly, please make sure you guys head down to the description and peep everything that I always talk about, because you guys are always asking me for these things that are always in the description box. And make sure you guys invest. Everything you need is going to be linked down below. Check out my other channels, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.